Shalom. Once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rekakodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of GMS, all you brothers in the four corners of the earth, are pushing the truth in sincerity and the truth. Shalom. This brother Isaiah had a quick lesson. Coming to you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, to feed 144,000 chosen men, women, and children, and make up the one third. Now, what I'm going to name the lesson, I don't know yet, but it's going to be taken from this book here, right? Pan-Africanism from the beginning, right? Which they didn't get from the beginning here, because had they had from the beginning, and the author of this book is Akim Adi, right? So he looked like a so-called white man, but hey, we at JMS, we don't go with the looks of your skin. It's about the spirit, right? So I'm going to read here from page 12. But like I was saying earlier, when in order for understand these books, you got to understand the history, and you have to link the history to the Bible. You understand, to actually get the full understanding about the Bible, the prophecy, the history, because a lot of things have been twisted, but through the spirit of Yahweh Yahushai, the prophets, the Most High give us the spirit to bring it up, to show the folly of, these people and the so-called history, But hey, it is written in the book. We know it, and we're going to teach it, right? So now, they say it's the beginning, but they start with they talking about the slaveries, which I'm going to have to do more than one series on this book, right? More than one series of video on this book, because it has some valid information, and we take the meat and chew away the bone. So basically, the word Africa, that place, the continent, right, it came about after a general, right, a Roman general who named Scipios Africanus, and he named the land after conquering it. So this is how our people, or even the Africans, they call themselves Africans, right? The Amites, the Cushites, they call themselves, African. But guess what, man? They're not Africans, right? So, especially our people. So I got some precept here I'm going to go through, and let me read from page 12. It says, the African diaspora, right? So when you look the definition of diaspora, it go back to scatter, right? Now, when you look at all the nations, they are not scattered. The only people that are scattered in the four corners of the earth is you so-called Black, Latino, Native, and Negro, right? Now, it's a Pan-Africanism try to create a bond between Black people of Africa and the diaspora. Now, it's beautiful. Now, when you look the word upon, it go back to all, right? So they're trying to create a bond for their people, because one of the things the Africans, right, the so-called Africans, I should say, they Amites them, so to speak, right? Rightfully, that's what it is. The Amites them, they don't ever say that the Israelite, which is the Negroes, you Latinos, they don't ever say that you are the people, right? And these people know it. It's only, our people is trying to include all the people. But guess what, man? It's not like that, because they say the Pan-Africanism try to create a bond between Black people of Africa and this diaspora, right? So now when you look at this, Brother Bukar, he always basically was teaching us, in the street, if you have a black dog, a black cat, and a black rat, what is the difference? The difference is that they are different species, right? So it is beautiful that it was break down so to us, so you get a good understanding. You understand, a perfect understanding, not because everything is so-called black, which black means void, and they don't have no black people on the face of the earth, right? We're different shades of brown, right? So when you check at it, at all these different shades of people, we're from different, race, right? Different culture. But this thing is a spirit. There's 18 nations on the face of the earth, right? So anyway, I don't want to be going talking too long, but it say, let me read this back one more time. It say Pan Africanism try to create a bond between black people of Africa and the diaspora. Now this also go back to the book of Deuteronomy. So let me get this right. Let me get this. Matter of fact, about two precepts could actually but let me get this one first in. Give me a second. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 8. It says, when the Most High divided the people, Silaki, when the Most High divided to the nation their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set a bound of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So the Most High is the one, the ultimate one who first created bound for people. So you just can't say that, hey, I wake up today and I feel like a Edomite, or I feel like a Elam, or I feel like a Israelite. No, it don't happen like that. There's a difference between our people. The Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, I've said that. Right? You say, for the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob is his lot of his inheritance. Right? So Jacob is the one that the Most High choose out of 18 nations. Right? Now let me get the next precept here. All right, this is Exodus 11 and 7. It says, against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that he may know that the Lord have do put a difference between the Egyptian and the Israel. Right? So the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, have put a difference between these Ammites and the Israelites. Right? So these people basically in the spirit, by not wanting us to be a part of their nation. Right? And we should be in that same spirit too. But our people was miseducated. Right? Now it's recognizing that they are all linked to Africa through a common experience of oppression and slavery. And this is not true. Right? This is not true, because the African, they wasn't enslaved when we was enslaved. They was actually selling us to the Portuguese, the so-called white man, right? The Spanish and all, and we were sold to a different. We was on blacks, auction blacks, being sold, and for instance, that one or two of our people was wicked. The scriptures say, among our people are found wicked men, who was also joined with these other nations, catching the Israelite and sold them. And we went all of this. How we also end up in Guyana, South America, in North America. That's how we end up in. We are scattered in the four corners of the earth, right? And they wasn't sold on ships and these things. You understand? They didn't went through the hard. They didn't have the yokes of iron on their neck. That was pertaining to our people, according to the book of Deuteronomy 28. Why? Because we went away from our power. Now I'm gonna continue this, but like I say, I'm gonna take this step by step. So, and that's why also the name Gentiles was also put upon us, right? Gentiles. Okay, let me get some precept to back up what I'm saying. Right. So when you look the word up, diaspora, it go back to the word scatter. right? Even scatter abroad. So now in John chapter 7, Yahushua was talking to the scribes and Pharisees. So I just reading straight to the point, right? Now it's saying John chapter 7 and 30, 35, you see. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we should not find him? Shall he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach them? Because yes, they're Israelite. We scatter in the four corners of the earth. Now, let me get this out of precept here. Ezekiel 36. I read from I will read from 17, right? Read from 16 actually. Say, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own ways and by their doing. Their ways was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. Why? Because they was doing all abomination. They all the things that the Lord tell us not to do, that is what we was doing. Right? When you read Leviticus chapter 18, about basically all the laws, we was eating abominable thing, we was doing all kind of craziness, and we learned these things by the what? By the Edens. Even under their captivity, they forced us to do things where we wasn't supposed to do. But nevertheless, 18 it said, wherefore I poured my furies upon them for the blood that they have shed upon the land, and for the idol wherewith they have polluted, and I scattered them among the heathen. So yes, we are scattered among the heathens, right? So like I said earlier, there's 80 nations on the face of the earth, and we were scattered among all. We are scattered among all. And that is because of what? The disobedient. Right? So let me read this back. It say, and I have scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed throughout the countries according to their ways, and according to their doing, I judge them. So we was dispersed among them. So basically, what Yahushua was basically breaking down to them, but not, he was, let me read this back one more time, because as you read up, right, you see, then Yahushua said, then said Yahushua unto them, yet a little while, and I, yet a, Silakia, yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. So the most Yahushua was going back to the Father. But then guess what? When you go to Acts chapter 1, it tell you that we're gonna go to the utmost part, which all brothers now, we in the utmost part of the earth, teaching this gospel. You understand? And he go on to tell you even in 8, chapter 8, John chapter 8, that, oh, hey, you're going to die in your sin if you don't believe that I am he. Because what Yahushua was basically breaking down to them, that, hey, even the Gentiles, the scattered people, which I'm going to give some more precept, that they also must, they must come in, in 10 tell you that, right? John chapter 10, right? John chapter 10 and 16. Maybe 15. It says, as the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I have laid down my life for the sheep, which is Israel. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, talking about the people them that was around, he didn't only have elect in Jerusalem, in these lands that he was preaching, But guess what? It had elect in the utmost part of the earth. Like for instance, this is what? This is Guyana, right? It have even in Africa there's elect there, right? So you just wherever people are living, elect is there. And I'm gonna prove that by the scriptures, right? So he say, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Well, the one shepherd is going to be Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Because Yahushai is the ultimate shepherd. They tell you that in 11, say, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. So Yahushai is the shepherd, right? So basically, careful. So basically, they how these other sheep is going to hear the voice of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai through the prophets. Through the prophets. Right? So give me a second. Oh. So this is James. This is James chapter 1 and 1. It said, James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So our people are scattered in the four corners of the earth. Right? Our people are scattered in the four corners of the earth. Right? Now let me get this precept here. This is I mean there are so many precepts. This is Isaiah chapter 11, and I read from 11. See, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. And the remnant is talking about a small number of Israel, right? Because the first time all Israel left Egypt, but this time is a remnant, right? A remnant out of the remnant of Israel, because out of the elect, right? So when I maybe explain that properly, now the remnant, is 144,000 chosen men, women, trying to make up the elect of Israel, because Israel also is considered as an elect nation, meaning that they was chosen out of the 18 nation. Now in the elect nation, there is an elect, right? They break it down in Revelation chapter 7, right? So let me read this back. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, right? And the remnant of his people is Israelites, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Cush, right? These Amites. You see, and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So from all these nations, the Most High is going to take his elect. And that is one of the reasons for the chariots, right? The chariot is going to going to start from where the east, picking up the, Apostle Tahar, said this, right? And we believe it through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The church is going to go wrong, come to the east and go all the way around, picking up the elect and take them back to Babylon so that they could see the destruction of America, right? And they're going to be what? Picking up the elect from all the island, everywhere, because the elect is scattered in the four corners of the earth, right? So it say, and he shall set up an ensign for the nation and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. That's the next thing they call the outcasts. Basically, These other nations, they don't accept us. Look at it. Look at who's the people that in the lowest estate, the worst state ever. Look at them who's in the ghetto. It's talking about and besides the ghetto, go back to where the Jews dwell. So yeah, right? The Israelites are there. We the one in the war situation and upon this entire earth, man. But the Lord is going to what? You know, assemble us again. They say, and he shall set up an ensign for the nation and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Of course, man. Right? So this is what is going to happen. The dispersed, the diaspora is talking about the Israelites, right? The Israelites. Like I said, I'm going to go a little more into this history, a little more into this book. Basically, these is things that was taught to us. So, it's back to basic, we should say, right? So, okay, right. I had a next precept. Can't remember the other precept. Let me see. Bear with me a minute. Oh yeah, I now remember. Right. So let me get this here. There you go. All right. So this is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and 10. Right. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. Ye are the sons of the living power. Ye are Yasha'Allah, right? The Prince of Power, right? You see, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jesuel, right? So Israel, we're going to come back together, right? We're going to go back together. The Lord is bringing us back together. How is he bringing us back together? Let me get a precept here really quick. All right. I'm going to close this off and I'm going to start back a new one. All right. So this is Baruch chapter 4 and 36. It say, O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east. And that's how I was mentioning just now. The scripture say, look up for your salvation draw nigh. Guess what, man? These chariots, they're gonna be picking us. And I said us because we the hopefully let. These chariots is gonna be picking us up from wherever we at, wherever land, wherever in prison, wherever we at. These chariots is going to pick us up, and we're gonna change. This body is going to change in a twinkle of an eye. With a twinkle of an eye, these bodies is going to be changed. So there's nothing going to hold us back to go up into the chariot, right? It say, O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh from thee from Yahweh, these chariots. It say, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. They come gathering together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh. Because the word of the Most High, because there is the first gathering is going to happen by the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And what the word said, that is going to come from the east, right? To tell us that. because the Amites them, they're thinking that Selassie is going to be coming from the east. Selassie ain't coming from the east. The one that coming from the east is Yahweh and the angels. This is Matthew 24 and 27. It says, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So Yahweh is going to come from the east, going straight to the west. We're going to go to see what the destruction and all the people of Israel, from when I say all the people of Israel, talking about the elect, the diaspora, they're going to be taken up, right? Because all Israel, but it's talking about the elect, right? For you young brothers and sisters, it's talking about the elect. All Israel was scattered, but the elect alone shall be taken up. The Most High is only dealing with the elect and the elect alone, right? You see, for wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagle be gathered together. Now, the carcasses is talking about the elect. The eagle is talking about the chariots, right? So wherever the elect is, the eagle, the chariots going to be there, picking them up, man. Right? Remember in Exodus, what the scripture say? That the Most High have brought you out on eagle wings. Yeah. But this gonna be like any other, bro. This gonna be marvelous. Right? So, basically that is it. I'm gonna do like a part two, and I'm gonna follow this up a little more as I go into this book. And I'm gonna expound a little more to the spirit Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Anyway, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakudash, double honor to the apostle elders of GMS, all you brothers in the four corners of the earth that pushing the truth in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. Abad Babal.